Okay, so this is my first ride back in Florida. Bike feels kind of strange. I don't know if I've got a problem with it or what. But I'm also trying something different. I bought a new camera and microphone. So I'm kind of hoping the sound and quality of the video is a little better. Feels good to be back in Florida. This is going to be a fairly easy ride. Just kind of a test ride, really. So make sure all of my equipment is working. It's amazing how easy it is to acquire different things. Now I've got like 3 or 4 different things attached to my handlebars, and soon I'll look like one of the mods from Quadrophenia with so many different things attached to my bike. But so I have the camera, I have my Garmin bike computer, I have my phone, I have a bell, and then on this phone, on this bike, unlike other bikes, I also have a seat height lever that lets me lower and raise the seat height from just pushing the lever on the handlebars. So that's not bad. Oh, I thought I forgot to fix my strap on my head, on my helmet, but I did. It's there, so. I just got back to Florida a few days ago. Made the drive in quicker than I have ever before, 2.5 days, which was quite good. It's in the 80s today, so reasonably warm. Probably mid 80s, 82, 83 maybe. So clearly I'm not used to this heat. It will affect me. I've got water with me, so that's good. I'm not expecting to set any records today. And while I usually do about 20 miles a day, not sure that's gonna happen today. I might want to just gradually build my longevity back up. So I have 4 bikes down here, and 3 of them don't work. And I knew about 2 of them. My new KHS has the problem with the electronic shifting. I've still got to get that fixed. Oh, they pulled the bushes out here that all the homeless people used to stay in. That's great. So, and then I have my mint green bike, my St. Paddy's Day bike, that's the one I crashed on. I ran into the bridge. I wish I could have had a video of that. That would have been great. But I'd had trouble with that one because I can't get the gears set right. It seems to keep slipping between gears and not being set right. Well, so while I was gone, I watched this excellent video on YouTube that explains how to tune your gears. And so I felt pretty confident I could get back and tune the gears. Well, I can tune the gears, but the gears have a problem. Well, I guess when I got in my accident, I must have bent the guide to the rear derailleur. It's what holds it straight. And it appears that it's bent inward slightly, which makes it very difficult to line up the highest gear, the smallest sprocket, and also the lowest gear, the largest sprocket. So while I was watching I turned on the guide on YouTube and basically did it along with it. And one of the things they said is, check and make sure your guide isn't bent, because if so, you will have trouble. Well, I looked and it was a little bent, but it didn't look bent bad, so I tried anyway. I had trouble. So I think I'll have to take it into the shop. I grabbed a pair of pair of channel locks to see if I could bend it back, but I really couldn't. So I think it's one of those things where I'll have to take it in. Nice for people to stop. Feels good to be back on this trail. I really like this path. I really only have to cross a couple of roads, which is nice. And really, I rarely have to really stop. The one I end up stopping at most is this next one, which is a Coachman. But most of the others I seem to be able to just ride through with caution, of course. Already at about 2.5 miles, not very quick, but I started out very slow today, so not surprising. So going downhill right now, so we'll see how I feel coming back uphill. I mean, it's a very slight uphill, but still noticeable. It's nice of him to back up and let me go through. I had to check behind me. There was a car about to turn. I wanted to make sure he wasn't going to turn into me, but he was watching as well. So very considerate drivers today. You know, I'm looking down at this camera on my handlebars, and it's kind of moving quite a bit. I think I might have to find some alternate way to attach this, because this thing is just bouncing back and forth horribly. This is the place where I usually have to stop. Exactly at 3 miles, which is a nice little tidbit. Boy, you really feel that sun. It's quite strong. So all last year when I was here, this road here, Old Coachman Road, was not open. They were replacing the bridge, and so this was closed the whole time. So clearly it's open again now. So there was a lot less traffic. Now obviously there's plenty of traffic coming through here. So the greater Tampa area is quite famous for the fact that Frisbee golf was invented here. So we were just driving through one part of a Frisbee golf course. And I do like that there are a lot of beautiful parks and surprising number of people playing Frisbee golf. I myself have never done it. Ah, we have a crosswalk here too. Okay, yeah, that's new. Have to be careful there to look behind me for traffic though. Not used to having to worry about that. People are generally pretty friendly here on the bike path. Just going under 19, under Highway 19 there. Oh, I just love this area through here. It's just beautiful. Great park. Oh, it looks like we have some homeless living here. Almost looks like over here on the side that they sprayed and killed the vegetation. That's interesting. Uh-oh. So last year, it was last year or the year before, I was riding, I think it was the year before, I was riding on the Pinellas Trail and going at a pretty good clip, and a squirrel comes out and he stops as I approach. Just as I come, he darts right in front of me and I hit him, ran over him. Luckily, I was able to maintain control and didn't go over my handlebars. But I don't expect he did very well. Now I have to decide. They had closed part of this trail, but it's clearly open again. So I think I'll take the original way. I used to turn left here and would go through a different way through this park. So we'll see what they did in this area now. The pavement was kind of rough at times. There had been a lot of tree roots that had made the asphalt kind of buckle. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but you know, you'd bounce around a bit. Oh, a little cat. That's probably the same cat I see here all the time. I wonder how he avoids getting eaten by alligators. Well, this was the section that was closed. Oh, a little Halloween decorations there. But I don't see that they've done anything here. Still the same upheavals here. Yep, see? I mean, at least they did mark them. But clearly they didn't work on this part of the trail. So maybe it was down here. This looks new. Oh yeah. This is much better. Yeah, this was kind of rough through here. Those little notifications are my bike computer telling me there's a sharp bend ahead. Yeah, this is much nicer through here. They did a good job. Oh yeah. There used to be a really rough spot right here, and you'd try to get some speed, and man, I'd bounce all over the place. It was closed for what, maybe a month and a half, 2 months. I think it opened shortly after I left. Oh, so anyway, I was talking about my bikes. So the mint green, like I said, I'm not able to get it to tune the gears, tune the derailleur. So I'll have to take it in and have someone with more experience take care of it. The KHS, the right wireless shifter is not working, and back in Jackson we thought it was the rear wireless derailleur. So they sent it back to Shimano, who agreed that was the problem. So they sent a replacement. So they put it in, same problem. Replacing the rear derailleur. So then they tried swapping wirelessly the left and the right derailleur shifters. And sure enough, as soon as they did that, the rear derailleur started working and the front derailleur stopped working. So clearly that right wireless shifter is the problem. I looked online and they're between $200 and $400, so I'm hoping I can find a bike shop here that will work with Shimano and get it replaced like they did with the wireless derailleur, rear derailleur. So coming up at 6 miles at the bottom of this hill. Was only thinking of going maybe 10 to 12 miles. And granted, I'm doing mainly right now the downhill, but I think I'll keep going. So I'm down on the bay. It's just to the right, although I can't see it from here. But the rest of this ride takes me right along next to the inside of the bay. Also quite lovely through here. This is not Palm Harbor, Safety Harbor. Lots of beautiful parks down here as well. Cooper's Bayou Park. Oh, still in Clearwater. I guess Safety Harbor is at the bottom of this next hill I'm going to go up and down. So I think I need to lube my chain. I think on the drive out, it got a little wet. I use a wax lubricant on it, which usually does pretty good, but I don't do it enough. Nice of her again to back up, let me through. This is another place where there's a lot of roots creating bumps in the trail. Although these are concrete slabs, so the entire slab gets pushed up. So on my last ride in Wyoming, it was a short 12, 13 miler. Along 26 coming out of Du Bois. So here's where I got in that accident, hit the bridge. Anyway, so they had mostly repaired that road, but there was one place that was still quite rough, and it was so rough that my phone, here we are in Safety Harbor, my phone actually shook loose from its attachment point. And luckily, the screen didn't break when it landed. It's got this 3M glue that sticks it onto the case. And I guess it had shaken so much that it came loose. So I reattached it. I think it was actually the second to the last time I went on that road. And it's been fine ever since. And it's feels very secure now as I test it. But, you know, as I go over some of these humps back there, I have a little bit of anxiety that my phone's going to fall off again. Well, a couple of days of riding in this heat, and I should be well acclimatized again, I think. Seven and a half miles. Oh, well, I guess I'm not going that way. That's interesting. I wonder what they're doing at the park. I know they're working on replacing the pier at the end. So I've never come through here, but looks like this just connects through. So here's where I normally cut up. So it looks like I'm about 2/10 of a mile short. animal nearby. Okay. Not sure I trust that. A little bit of a headwind though. Yeah, I don't see any animal. Usually that means a barking dog somewhere. And they're usually behind a fence, so about a month ago, I started riding on a new Brooks saddle. And, you know, ever since I've been riding, it's been about 10 years now, I've been trying to find a good saddle. And, I bet I've gone through 20, maybe even 30 saddles in that time. And I have to say, I really like this Brooks saddle. So it's leather and it has a cutout. And some people, it's very difficult for them to adjust to it. Other people love it immediately. And it just gets more comfortable. I fall into the latter category. It just felt great. I had no problems and it's just getting more comfortable. So I took the saddle off and put on one of my many other saddles.
I was like, well, here it's not the road.
I took it off for the drive because I didn't want the saddle to get rained on. They don't do well in water. And you have to condition them regularly so they remain soft. Put oil on them. So some people don't like that. So, well, we got a hill climb coming up. It says 3%. Third of a mile. That's it. Well, that doesn't happen very often, that I let somebody pass me. Although I'd much rather have them pass me on the downhill than on the uphill. Pass me on the uphill, that's a matter of pride. So the pedaling seems stiffer, and I think that's because I need to lube the chain. I mean, it's not bad, but it was kind of noticeable right off the bat when I first got on the bike today. Something just felt off. I think that's what it is. Everything else seems to be working fine on the bike. Brakes are fine. Wheels feel true. I did have to pump up the wheels. I was a little surprised, because I went from 7,000 feet down to 0, basically, or 50. So I thought it would climb. So it'll be interesting to see, because I'm going to take an alternate route here, if it maintains. Yep, it canceled the climb. So I figure it's a good idea to hydrate. I don't want to have to face dehydration. I actually feel decent. The hill, just there, felt pretty good. Okay, 10.3 miles so far. .2 miles per hour. We'll see how I do. I'd like to get up to 13 before I get home. But it is uphill most of the way. So we'll see if I can do that. I generally, I think, increase my speed as I go. My first mile is oftentimes my slowest. I think I get more motivated as I go along. So I have to say, I mean, I've been talking most of the way on this ride. I have no idea if this is recording, if it's recording the video, if it's recording the audio. I don't know. So my gear for riding has changed since I was last here. I used a different action cam for recording, and it was okay, but I don't know, the audio was really crappy. So that's different. Then I was just wearing a hat usually, no helmet. And I didn't really feel bad about it because I'm not really in traffic here. But back in Wyoming, I ride on the road a lot and I worry. So I got in the habit of wearing a helmet now. I'm wearing one. One of the advantages of the helmet is I have a rear view mirror attached to it, which really makes it easy to look behind me instead of having to look down to the handlebars, where, by the way, I have a rear view mirror attached on the end of the handlebar. But I rarely look at it now because this mirror attached to the helmet works really well. So I also bought special prescription goggles specifically for sports that have a strap to hold them on your head so they don't ever fall off. So I'm gonna cut down here just to see how far. I need to pick up about 3/10 of a mile anyway, so this is how I usually go. I'll have to come back because the trail is blocked up here. So I guess the whole reason they blocked it is for the work on the pier. I hear that my gears are out of alignment on this. So another piece of gear that I am using now is a headband kind of underneath my helmet, a sweatband. And I always had trouble with sweat pouring out on me. And the headband really helps. There is a very talented and dedicated BYU basketball player by the name of Richie Saunders, who is known for wearing a headband. So I am not wearing the headband as an homage to him. I'm wearing it to keep the sweat out of my eyes. Okay, about 7.5 miles to home. Yeah, that's a warm sun. I checked my security cameras back in Wyoming and there was snow on the ground. I'd rather be here. Although I had a difficulty getting going to leave Wyoming. I'm not sure what that's about, but I just had trouble getting motivated. I originally was going to leave the end of September. And had considered mid to beginning of September, but I ended up having one thing or another just kind of causing me to wait. And so I ended up leaving, I think, on the 15th, it seems like, of October. Maybe earlier, maybe it was the 13th. Okay, see if I can avoid hitting the bridge here. I did. Oh, a gecko, a lizard, was on the path. They ran right into me. Tried to avoid him. I don't know if I did. I don't see a wet spot on my tire, so maybe I missed him. So this might fall under the category of TMI, too much information, but as a male bicycle rider, there's an area of the body where your body is in contact with the bike. Your hands is 1, your feet is 2, and then your saddle, your seat, is 3. I'm not talking about number 1 or 2, although I've dealt with issues with them in the past, with numb hands, numb feet. So anyway, you have to be careful how you position yourself on the bicycle seat so you avoid smashing or folding certain areas of your body. I wasn't that aware and smashed a certain part of my anatomy and pinched it. And I didn't notice it until I turned around, really, and kind of reshifted. So anyway, I'm feeling a little bit of tenderness in that area, and it's not really a result of the seat as much as me not shifting things into the appropriate position. I'm sure women have similar but very different problems. Interestingly, it didn't register this as a hill climb. Done a lot of cleanup. Last year at this time was just after 2 hurricanes came through. And so the cleanup they did was really making the trail passable. Gonna take the alternate path back just for variety. There's 15 miles. So I haven't really been worried about my gear falling off the bike, like my phone and my computer. The bike computer is actually very firmly attached and has a tether as well. So I'm totally not worried about that one. But the phone, most of the time I don't worry, but as I go over a bridge, I'll admit my anxiety level increases. I think, oh, it could fall and bounce and go into whatever body of water it might be I'm crossing at the moment. Which oftentimes would result in it sinking, but also a lot of alligators in this water. He wasn't supposed to be going. He blew through the bus stop sign. But I try to pay special attention when on the road, because let's face it, if I get in a run-in with a car, I will absolutely lose that battle. So it's up to me to make sure that doesn't happen. $16 miles. Beginning to feel the effects of the heat. I might want to pause up here and take another drink. Additionally, I have a new pain that I really have never felt before. It's kind of feels like a nerve pain in my upper left thigh. It doesn't feel like muscle pain. I kind of wonder if that pain is sciatic nerve. Thought it wise to stop and take a drink there. Boy, you really feel that sun when you stop and there's no breeze. A little over 17 miles. pretty good headwind here for Florida, that is. Very nice. So let me go through. Very attentive drivers here in this area. Okay, I'm starting to feel the ride. Or the heat. Or both. $18 miles. Wasn't really sure who was going to stop. Oh, there's the bunnies. Another on the other side, another on the other side, and another. All right, 9 cents of a mile to go. So one of the reasons I upgraded to a bike computer was that I noticed lots of errors starting to happen on my GPS on my phone on my rides, it would suddenly pinpoint me behind me and then jump ahead and then jump back, jump ahead, and it would keep doing that. And as a result, it seemed from the statistics that I was going faster than I was and longer than I was. So, since getting the bike computer, I haven't noticed any problems whatsoever. It says it has dual GPS radios, so I think it avoids errors like that. At least I hope that's the case. I like the idea of it being as accurate as possible. $20 miles.